All right, everyone. Welcome to week 4 in the final week of your creative presentation class. It was been a joy having you guys, so let's finish this off strong. Remember, stay plugged in, right? So even after your last assignment, continue to always check your emails, visit your page daily, and the most important thing, stay in touch with your student liaison. All right, they will guide you throughout your whole time here at Full Sail. If you have any questions about academics and everything, they are the ones to that you need to reach out to. So make sure you stay in touch with them as much as you can. They are vital to your success here at Full Sail. Also, make sure you stay in contact with FSO support and tech and stuff. That way, they can help you when you have technical issues and anything like that. They are another good asset for you guys to use in your futures. Okay. And a lot of you guys have been doing really good at this. Continue to be resourceful in your learnings. All right, this is just going to set you up for the future. Use FS Connect, use lynda.com, use YouTube tutorials. You have all these kind of resources you guys can use to help guide you guys through your full sale experience. Okay, so continue to be resourceful. I'm proud of you guys. A lot of you guys are resourceful. So just continue to keep doing that. All right, those are key things. And And when we're talking about what you guys are going to do for 4.4, there's a little code. There's always room for improvement. A lot of you did really well on your 3.4. Actually, most of you guys did really well on your 3.4. And most of you guys already got your feedback from me. There's still a couple more I need to grade. But even though you guys did really well, there's always room for improvement. So we're going to get into that a little bit later. All right. So I'm unmuting everybody. So everyone's unmuted. Does anyone have any questions or concerns at all before we start diving right into what we're doing for this week and a little review of last week?
How do I let you know?
Excuse me, your audio broke.
Oh, okay. This is Daniel Maserati Garcia. How do I know to let you know when I have a question or something?
Well, when I usually unmute everybody every 2 to 3 slides, there's also a chat box that you can write directly to me. You can write to the class. You can there's an app where you can raise your hand, so I know you have a question. So there's multiple ways you can ask me, but I always unmute everybody every 2 to 3 slides just to make sure everyone has the questions answered. But again, there's a chat box. You can direct your question directly to me, or you can just send it to the class. I won't have to say your name if you direct it to me. Got it?
Awesome. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
I'm glad to hear that. Anyone else have any questions before we start diving into this little review and what we have this upcoming week? All right, moving forward. All right, I'm gonna mute everybody again, and I'm gonna mute everybody in the next couple of slides, and then so you guys have any more questions. So let's start diving right back into it. So your portfolio assignment, all right, real simple. It's not worth. I'm not grading it. It's not worth the grade, but it is essential to part of your full sail learning, right? So you can either make a video or you can do a short essay, right? So the objective here is pretty much saying, did you get what you want at the class? There's a list of questions you can answer. It's not super long. It's literally a little paragraph, or if you want to do a video, make a 1 to 2 minute video max. Just make sure you guys follow the proper format and the instructions. Don't just submit the video, put it in upload it on YouTube. When they ask you how do you want to list it, it'll be like everyone private or unlisted. You choose unlisted. Do not select private. I repeat, do not select private. So if you're uploading a video, upload it to YouTube and select the option unlisted, and then from there, you're gonna put the link in a Word document with your name. Then you're also gonna put the video submission, and you're gonna put the link in there. You're just gonna upload the Word document. You're gonna save the Word document. You're gonna upload it. All right. Real simple. It's just it's based on your reflection of this class. Did you get what you wanted out the class? Did this class meet your expectations? It's real simple. All the directions are in the instructions. You guys have to do it, but I'm not going to be the one grading it. Okay. So just make sure you get that complete. Now we got that part out the way. Let's talk about your 3.4 drafts. Most of you got your feedback from me already. So your 3.4 drafts, I just want you guys to know it'll usually all be done by in this night, early tomorrow at the very latest. But I'm trying to have them all done by tonight. One thing I want you guys to remember is, again, don't take my feedback personally, please. I'm not attacking you. I'm not saying you didn't do a good job. I just want you guys to improve for the next step, for the next class and everything. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Please don't take any feedback I give you personally. It's not an attack. It's just stuff ways you can improve on later. And this is for everyone. I'm not saying this is for one or two students. I'm saying this is for every single body. Even if I gave you a high grade, I usually still wrote, pitch yourself some more. Remember, this is like a job interview. This is your dream job, and you're not the only one just applying to it. So you have to pitch yourself more for the final submission, right? It's like a job interview. Work on your star moment. What are you going to do to make yourself stand out more? This is for every single body in all my classes, okay? What are you going to say and do to make yourself stand out more? Everyone's going to say, yes, I'm creative. I have fresh ideas. You know, I'm a hard worker. That's not a strong moment. That's not you really pitching yourself. That's what everyone says. What are you going to do to make yourself stand out, right? What are you going to do to make sure they should choose you over them choosing someone else? You know, if we all know when everyone's applying for the same jobs, what is it? It's kind of a competition. When everyone wants someone to invest in them or partner with them, what is it? It's kind of a competition because most other people want them to either invest, hire them, or partnership with them. So, what are you going to do to make yourself stand out more? So, you need to pitch yourself. Yes, we're all creative. We all are hardworking. We all may have fresh ideas, but that's not really pitching yourself, right? You're just saying what everyone else says. So, you got to do it in a more creative way, right? So, just keep that in mind. This is for everyone in the class. So, work on your pitch. Bottom line, right? Separate yourself from another person that wants the job. Because think about it. Most people that are applying to the same jobs, they usually kind of have the same exact background. So, what are you going to do to make yourself stand out a little bit more? How are you going to make yourself a little bit more? What are you going to do to make it a little more creative? All right. So, everyone's any questions, concerns about that?
Yeah, I wanna make this clear for me, right quick, please. Can you please make this clear? Um, the start moment, is that way where you describe yourself,
The star
your
moment.
plus size?
The star
Mhm.
moment is pretty much the most important part of your assignment, right? This is what you can either say or do that's going to separate you from everyone else, and this is how they're going to remember you. So think of it as once you're done with your interview, right? Then you leave. Then when they're talking about the candidates, they're like, "That's what he did. That's what he said." That's how they're going to remember you. You have to say something that's going to have them remember you, right? So this is like your lasting impression on them. You
Thank
understand
you.
that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, concerns? And also,
Uh,
hold on. Also, go back to your other assignments where your 2.4 is it's explained. Go back to the other assignments and look at it. Go back, listen back to the other go-to sessions, right? You still have all these resources you guys can go back to kind of refresh your memory. You could go back to all the old stuff from earlier in the month and then kind of look at it and reshape your 4.4 final submission. All right. Any other questions or concerns?
yes. Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
This is Terrence. I was just how's everybody doing? I just tuned in. So the last one we did, the last assignment we did was just like we was presenting ourselves to a company. Is that not? Is it so? I'm kind of confused. Is this like the same difference or?
So 4.4, your 4.4 assignment, which I'll explain it. That's your final draft. So what you guys did now is the first draft. I'm telling you, you guys need to improve, so you guys could go back, fix it, and then submit a final draft.
Oh, got you. Okay, so we'll basically kind of be doing the same thing again, just on a higher level and more accurate to what
Yes. So
you're.
say whatever feedback I give you, when you go, you have to apply the feedback I give you, change your presentation a little bit, adjust that. even if it's something that you realize later that you listen to. So say you didn't like the way you sounded in a couple of spots in your audio. So say you re-record your audio. It's just the first one was the first draft, so that's like your practice round, right? Now you
Gotcha.
your final round. So now this is when you kind of put everything and clean everything up to make you right? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Is in reference to the lynda.com bonus materials. I'll try to go in there. They was asking me to, I think that's a fee to make an account there.
That's something you need to contact with your student liaison. That's why I said stay in contact with them. All right.
Uh,
In FS Connect and support and stuff. So you can even just Google. It's just like tutorials and teachings to help you get to kind of guide you through different things, right? So if you have a problem logging in and stuff, that's why I said contact FSO support. They deal with the technology stuff. Okay.
so thank you.
Look, anyone else have any questions or concerns? All right, so we're gonna move forward. So now I'm gonna talk about your 4.4, your final submission. So it's gonna be a final draft of your 3.4. All right, 4.4. So your 4.4, your final presentation must have changes. Okay. So whatever you submit for your 3.4 first draft, if you submit the same exact assignment with no changes, it will result in a zero. So say if I gave you a 95, I gave you 100 for your 3.4. But I told you some things you need to change. If you don't change them, and you give me the same exact assignment, no matter how good it is, you're gonna get a zero. So there's no mistaking your 3.4 for your 4.4. So again, I'll say it again. For your 4.4 final presentation, you must have your changes. You must have made changes. All right. And if you submit your 3.4 assignment for your 4.4, it will result in a zero. There's no way around that. There's no I accidentally uploaded the wrong one. Submit the right one. All right. And the changes you make must be based on my feedback and your own new and original ideas. So, like I was telling Terrence earlier, so say if you go back and listen to your own audio, say I could take this part out, I could kind of, redo this part of the audio, I could change some images out, I could add some images. That's part of your own original ideas and new ideas. So it doesn't just have to be based on my feedback. It could be based on yours. So say if you give a friend or another classmate your presentation, be like, hey, tell me some things you think I should change. If they tell you something you change and you want them changing it, that's part of another feedback. So that counts. All right. It just doesn't have to be based on my own. It can be based on yours. It can be based on someone else's feedback they gave you. Okay. So don't just think that it's just based off mine alone. All right. And very important because if you don't add this, it can result in a minus of 10 deduction points. Make sure on the very first slide, you list out the new changes of your first slide. Okay. Make sure you put the new changes that you made for your final draft on the very first slide. So the first slide should have your name, the name of the assignment, and the list of changes you made. If you don't put the list of changes you made, getting 10 points taken off. It's not I forgot, you know, it's not can I add this on later? Not later, but can I submit this later? It has to be on the first slide of your submission. Okay. I'm saying it now and it's in the instructions and stuff. So there's plenty of notifications you guys have. So make sure you guys put the new changes on your first slide. So I'm meeting everybody. Anyone have any questions or concerns so far about 4.4?
So,
Jessica, you have a question?
yeah,
What's your
there's
question?
actually an echo on my machine.
Is that your question, or do you have a question about the 4.4 or 3.4 assignment?
Yeah, I have a question about this,
If you're worried about the echo, there's
the
a
assignment.
louder.
Okay, hello?
Yes.
So, yeah, I have a question about the assignment. So, I just want to verify that you said on the first slide we have to make a list of all of the corrections that we made for the final presentation. So we have to literally list everything, your feedback, and on the first slide of the
So
changes we made.
as
Correct?
as I said, it's not based on my feedback. You have to do based on my feedback. Say you decide to add images, that's part of a change. Say if you change your audio a
Oh,
bit, that's part of your change. So it just doesn't, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't have to just be based on my feedback. Say if you give your project to
okay.
someone else listen to, they say, hey, you should change this around, and you wind up changing it. That's part of, a new idea. So put that down. So I'm not looking for I change slide 4 and 5 around. Just say, so for instance, I corrected some of my audio. I slowed down my speaking pace. I added images. I took away images, or you rearranged your images. I'm just looking for the ideas that you guys did. I don't need to know exactly what slide you changed. So if you got rid of slide 6, I don't need to know that. Just say you took away some images, or you added images, right? That's what I'm looking for. You understand that?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Anyone else have any questions to ask? Like I always told
And
you guys before, better to ask me now while you have me live instead of waiting later for a message back that could take maybe an hour or so for me to get back to you. So don't be shy asking me now because a lot of people have the same questions they just always try to ask. But it's better to have me now. I can just try to further explain it live. But again, if you guys are shy about speaking out loud, write in the chat box, send it directly to me. I don't even have to say your name when I'm reading the question. So again, before we move on, does anyone else have any other questions? All right. So I'll say it one more time. The first slide must have a list of changes you made from your 3.4 to your new 4.4 based on my feedback and your own or new original ideas. So, like I said, if you give your project to someone else to listen to and they say, hey, you should change this around, and you change it, that's a new change. That's something you list. If you feel like you need to take away some images or you need to add some images, say I took that's the change. So just say I added more images, or I took away some images, or I both took away and added some more images. That's a change. So anything you change, just let me know. All right. So on your final presentation, like I said, first slide must include the updates and changes you made, your date, your name, and the date and the name of your assignment. So it's basic. But again, if you don't list the changes, you're gonna lose 10 points. That's not a fair discussion. Okay. You want your changes to be based on my feedback and any new ideas you want to make up, right? So make sure you be specific. Make sure you kind of be specific. So don't just say, I made changes to my assignment. What changes did you make, right? Did you take away pictures? Did you add pictures? Did you pitch yourself more? So that was a change. Just say I pitched myself more. I explained why they should choose me over them. I stated my specific target audience in it. So be somewhat specific, but you don't need to tell me I took away slides 7 and 8. Just tell me pretty much the other things you did around it. Okay. And what kind of changes should I make? Like I said, my feedback. If you have better narration slash delivery, write that down. Make sure and big thing, make sure your presentation plays automatically. A lot of you guys did really well with that, so I'm not too concerned. But make sure your audio and your visuals they kind of line up. And once I hit slideshow or just play it, it should go automatically. I shouldn't have to click to the next slide to play the next audio. It should play automatically. Okay. And think about it. Make sure go back. Are your images powerful? Are they memorable? Do you need more images? Do you need more images that need something? That means something? Do you need to take away some of your images? Can you improve the placement? Do you need to change maybe I should put this image in the beginning instead of toward the end? Those are all kind of changes you can make and just put that in the first slide. Okay? The first slide is the only time you should be writing anything in this assignment. The first slide and the sources slide. Anything else in between should be just you audio and images. Should be no writing or anything like that. Okay. So everyone's unmuted. Any questions so far?
We have to update the date also, or just leave the same date that's on there?
No, you have to update the date because it's a new week and it's a new assignment.
Okay,
Yeah. Any other questions?
thank you.
All right. So also go back and review the your previous week's community discussion board, right? Again, you could post up your stuff there. You could go back and ask for more feedback and stuff. So that's still there for you guys to use, all right? So that's, like I said, resources. That's another resource for you guys to use. A lot of you guys used it. So, it's still there for you guys to use. All right. So now that we've talked about 4.4, you also have a 4.3 assignment due this week, okay? And that's pretty much what you guys did for 1.4, kind of another analysis, right? So your 4.3, your presentation feedback assignment. So from there, when you click the instructions, you're going to see you're going to see a link of 3 student presentations. Now, what I want to say about the student presentations, it's no one in any of your classes. It may not even be someone you know. It's someone from way past classes. So don't worry about, oh, is he selected my presentation? It's none of your presentations, okay? So don't worry about it. It's none of your classmates. It's not yours. So the person that you're doing the feedback on, they're not going to even know you chose them, nor are they going to know your feedback. So don't worry about that. So in the instructions, they're gonna have a link for 3 student presentations. Okay, you have to pick one presentation to analyze. All right, so only pick one out of the 3, and analyze based on the questions in the instructions. So there's a list of questions that are asked that you have to base your questions off of, that you have to base your answers off of in your analysis. Okay, in your analysis, make sure you be specific. I've told many of you guys in the past, give more details, more examples, more suggestions. Be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give, the better. And make sure you indicate which presentation you chose. All right. And also, along with that, so you also, once you listen to the presentation, you're going to have to kind of decide if they choose ethos, pathos, or logos. So I'm going to tell you kind of exactly what they are. Ethos. It's the appeal to someone's trust or credibility, right? So say someone's throwing statistics at you to prove a point. They're kind of they want you to trust them with what they're saying, and they're trying to go off their credibility, right? Pathos. It's appeal to an emotion. So are you trying to appeal to is the speaker trying to appeal to you with emotions, right? Logos, appeal to logic. Does it make sense? Now, if you guys think about it, you guys all use these, whether you're trying to get something out of your parents, your kids try to get something out of you, your significant other try to get something out of you, or make you do something. You guys use these you guys have used these hundreds of times in everyday living. You guys probably didn't know they have a label for them, right? So you have to state which one of these did they choose, which one did the speaker use, and you have to say why. So give examples of how they used it. So say if you feel they used 2 of them, then say they chose 2 and explain why you think they chose 2. Give examples. Now I'm gonna show you guys an example of a submission that a student gave that they got a really great grade on. So I'm gonna unmute everybody. Can everyone see the Word document?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
excellent. So everyone's muted again. So you see there was a student's name. Of course, I deleted it so you guys couldn't see it. There's a name, the date when the assignment was submitted, the name of the assignment, and the link. They told me which presentation they watched. So go off of that, right? Then they go into detail. That's the speaker. That was the person's presentation. That was their name. As you can see, they gave examples and details of everything they talked about. Her father's passion for sales inspired her. This is very relatable because a lot of times children listen to their parents for like they pinpointed things out. They just didn't just strictly answer the questions. They gave details. They gave examples, right? So it's real simple. I'm not asking for images in this assignment. It's all just essay format. So if you have Word, you have Note, you have um, notes, you can use it. I'm not asking for images. I'm not, it's just essay form of your analysis, right? So this is pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but they pretty much answered all the questions, but they expanded and got specific and explained each part, right? And look, this is the part. I feel the presentation falls under the pillar of pathos. They chose what pillar to talk about. She showed a lot of emotion in the way she spoke about her son, father, and how you must choose a career from your heart, right? Miller had good qualities throughout her presentation that we learned. So she kind of gave, she could have gave more examples of how it played off of pathos, but still she kind of showed why she chose that, right? And then why is feedback important? This again, this is a requirement that's going to be in the instructions. Why do you feel like feedback is important? Feedback allows us to continue improving. There's always room for improvement. When others give us feedback, we take it with open arms because if we apply it, it will only make us grow. So that's pretty much, see, it's simple. Essay format analysis. You can answer the questions. Don't just label the questions, copy and paste the questions and then just talk about it. Put in essay format. Show me, put some effort into it. This is what it should look like. All right. So again, like the student provided a lot of examples and went into a lot of details about every point they were trying to make. All right. So back to our regular scheduled PowerPoint. All right. Everyone's unmuted. You guys can see the PowerPoint again, correct? Any questions about 4.2?
Nope.
It's not hard. It's pretty simple. Again, you have to answer the questions. Don't just list the questions and list the answers. Essay format. Show me that. Show me some effort. Go into details. Be specific. And then choose which one of the three pillars they chose. The speaker use. And if you feel like the speaker used more than one, that's fine. Just explain and give examples of how you think they chose more than one. All right. Any questions so far?
No.
And another way to look at this assignment, you guys are the instructor, you guys are the professor, you guys are the teacher. You're grading their work, so that's the way you guys can look at it. You're, you're the instructor that has to grade all their work. So give them the feedback. Tell them what they did well. Give them examples of how they did well. Tell them what they could have done. It's an analysis. It's based on your feedback, right? That's the way you can look at this assignment. You guys are all the teachers. You guys choose the students to listen to, and you guys are going to do the analysis. Again, this is no one you're going to know. This is not any of your classmates' presentation. This is someone from long ago that's not going to even know you chose their assignment, and they're not going to even know your feedback. So trust me in that. All right. So a couple things for you to remember. Everything you mention should serve one purpose. And this is going back for your 4 point for your final submission. Everything you mention should have one purpose. It should lend weight on your credibility, right? So you want the audience to take away from you. You want them to kind of believe you what you're saying, and like what I was saying with your star moment. You should be able to move your audience, right? You should be able to have a star moment with how they're gonna remember you. What are you gonna say, or what are you gonna do that's gonna have them, wow, this person really stood out because of this. This is how I remember this person. It doesn't have to be so chronological, right? So, say if you kind of want to mix up your beginning and your middle, I'm fine with that. Just make sure it flows naturally, right? So we all kind of have conversations. We kind of go all over the place, but it kind of still flows. So just make sure your presentation flows naturally. All right. And big thing, you only have 3 to 4 minutes, not 2 minutes and 55 seconds, not 4 minutes and 50 seconds. You have 3 to 4 minutes to complete this. A lot of you guys are really good with your time, so I'm not too worried about that. But just keep that in mind. All right. And big thing, no bullet points. Besides the first slide where you tell me your name, the date, the name of the assignment, all the changes you made, and the last couple of slides with your sources for your pictures and stuff, there should be no bullet points in between any of that or any writing. It should be strictly images and your audio, no bullet points. All right. So just remember that. And the big thing I wrote to a lot of you guys. Don't talk about what you want to do. We all want to do. If you're applying for, we know you want to do it. Talk about what you can do for them. Again, you have to sell yourself. All right, hold on. I'm muting everybody. Terrence, you have a question. What's your question?
Even so, if it goes like 4 minutes, 5 seconds, that's still bad. Like
No,
4 minutes.
it's more so I won't take it off if you go over. I'm not gonna. I'll more so take it if you go under. So say if you go 4 minutes and 10 seconds, I'm okay with that. It's when you go 4 minutes and 45 seconds, you're keeping it to another minute range. So if you go a
Okay,
little
cool.
bit over, don't worry about that. It's more so if you go 4 minutes 35 seconds, 4 minutes 50 seconds, 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
That's when I take it off. Or if you go 2 minutes and 50 seconds, then I'll take it off. I was strictly going to do it between 3 and 4, but if you go a little bit over 4, I won't take it off. I won't even mention it. But do not go under and do not go overly over. Understand that?
Gotcha.
Any other questions so far?
No.
Nope. Again, better ask me now live than later. Go right in the chat box. So I ask anyone again. Any questions or concerns so far about what we talked about? Okay, so we're gonna move forward. So, like I was saying, make sure you talk about what you can do for them. You're selling yourself to them. You want them to hire you. It's not you're saying this you guys would be blessed to have me, right? No. What can you do for them? It's all about being an asset to them. What can you do to separate yourself from the person next to you that wants the job? How are you going to sell yourself to them, right? That's what I'm saying. Every single one in the classes need to pitch themselves more, right? We all know what you want to do because that's why you're applying to the job. But what can you do for them? What makes you different from someone else that wants the job? All right. And again, your sound environment. So I want you guys to minimize the background noise. I can hear people have notes because I can hear the paper shuffling. I can hear them like, flipping the paper around. A lot of you guys are good with people and animals in the background. So be mindful of that. And also be careful of outside noises. The smoke alarm beeps. We need the battery, the mouse clicking. So just be mindful of your background noise, okay? Because if I notice it, then I'm gonna have to take away a couple of points for that. All right? Because now you guys know what you guys need to change. You guys know you need to be in a quiet environment. So I understand if you have a family, you kind of have the kids around or the wife or husband or whoever around. Try to find a quiet place to do it. Remember, it's 3 to 4 minutes. You could get away for 3 to 4 minutes, okay? And use a few powerful words or key phrases instead of just multiple quotes. Okay, so like I said, everything you say must serve a purpose and must have credibility. You have to be memorable. So make sure you look at it as that way too. Okay, so you can't find something, just Google something. Like I say, be resourceful. Look at what other people have used in their interviews as powerful words or key phrases. All right. Again, like I told you guys last week, use powerful images as a background. Image formatting is key. So this images should be a straight background. Shouldn't be any templates that you just put images in, like I'm doing with my presentation. But so your background should just be images. All right. So just keep that in mind. Avoid using images with watermarks. Okay. So choose. You guys all have. Most of you guys have social media and stuff, but you guys only post pictures that you feel are acceptable for other people to see, right? That's the way you should treat your assignment. Make sure you guys are choosing assignments that make sure you guys are choosing images that are worthy of you posting up. So look at it as that way. All right. And avoid using clip art templates. I said that last week. A lot of you guys did really good with that. So I'm not too worried about that. So I'm not going to just stay on that. So again, no bullet points. Avoid using clip art, no templates. Use images as your background and you make sure the images are nice and clear. Make sure they mean something to have an impact on it, okay? Another thing, know your industry, but don't give a history lesson. Remember, they work at that particular company or that particular place you want a partnership in, or they work with the investments. They know the history, so they don't need to know the history of it. You could give a little background, fine, but like I said last week, don't give a big history lesson on. They already know that, so they don't want to hear that, right? So look at it as that way. I'm unmuting everybody. Anybody have any questions or concerns so far?
So as far as the Terrence, so as far as the templates, so you mean like when we put the pictures in on the side, it kind of shows you a different way to kind of put the picture in.
No.
Don't do that.
So template. So you see what I'm using right now? It's a template. It's a templated background.
Got you. Don't do that.
Background should only be images and audio.
Got you.
Yeah. So that's all it should be. No bullet points unless you listen your changes in the first slide and you give me your sources of images in that slide. Other than that, everything else, images, audio. This is pretty much a template. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? All right. Everyone's getting muted again. And again, make sure you cite your images. Don't just say image found on Google. Include the original link where you obtained it. Put that in your last slide. Okay. It could be your last slide, your last 2 slides. It's not going to count as part of your timing. It's just you don't want to plagiarize, so you have to state where you put it. So again, make sure you set your images, but it does not count as part of your timing. So say if you're at 3 minutes and 4 seconds, but the 4 seconds, the last 5 seconds is you show me your images. Your presentation is short. It's just something you have to list. All right. And include your specific courses from your program at Full Sail, right? So don't say my Full Sail education let me here because blah blah blah. Talk about the specific courses you remember. This is in the future, so think of it as what specific course you took and what they did for you, what you learned. But also, I want you guys to remember, don't just only focus on your your educational background, right? Talk a lot about That's why you go through job interviews. Ask you guys your personal background or your professional background. So if you guys say you guys want to work for a network like a Nickelodeon or something, you want to be an artist for them. Don't just talk about the class you took at Full. So talk about the times you drew. Talk about you've been drawing since you were so and so, and talk about that. Talk more about your personal and your professional background. Don't just focus on your educational background. All right, so be a little bit more creative with your middle part when you talk about when you talk about your qualifications for it. Okay. And another thing is deliver pacing, articulation, right? So make sure you're not speaking super fast. Make sure you're not speaking super slow. Make sure you sound enthusiastic. Again, this is your dream job. This is your dream company you want a partnership with, or this is your people you want to invest. You should be happy and excited. So you should sound that way. So sound professional, but also have a little enthusiasm in your voice, right? And I told some of you guys, you sound like you're reading from a piece of paper. Again, you have your script. You could practice it as many times as you want. So when you're practicing, you should try to start remembering it. That way it could just flow naturally, right? So I could tell, we could tell when you're reading from a piece of paper, just even if we don't hear the pages flipping, because it doesn't sound like it's flowing naturally. Remember, it's just like a conversation. So, and I can't see you guys using the script. So I don't care if you guys using it, even you're reading it. It just didn't sound like it. You have to sound passionate. You have to sound enthusiastic, but you also have to sound professional. If you sound like you're reading from a piece of paper, it's not going to always sound professional. All right. So, with that being said, before I let you guys go, and, start working on your 4.4 and your 4.3, does anyone have any questions before we leave for our last go to session?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, what's the question?
What's a watermark like image?
So those images where it kind of gives you like a little sample of an image, but it kind of has like the websites on it. It kind of goes on the image.
Like across? Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah, that's kind of like the watermarking. So don't use those. You want to post something like that on Facebook or Instagram, etc. So don't use images like that. I'm just saying use clear images and images that are like pixelated. That's what I'm saying. Look at it as an image that if you take a picture of yourself, you will post it up online. Care about the image.
about.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or concerns so far before we depart? All right. So just remember, I'm gonna just give one quick final review. This is gonna be posted online. So if you missed something, again, this is gonna be posted within the hour. read the instructions for all your assignments. If you have a question about usually anything, come to me. I either direct you to who you should talk to or answer your question flat out. No problem whatsoever. Your 4.4, make sure your first slide has the changes that you made from your 3.4. All right. If you don't, you lose 10 points. That is a must. All right. Sound more professional, sound more enthusiastic. Don't sound like you're reading from a piece of paper. All right. Your 4.3, make sure you give me a lot of detail, good detail, a lot of information. I don't need images for a 4.3. Make sure you tell me which pillar or pillars they use and give an example why. All right. So with that being said, I'll ask everyone one more time before we leave. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? All right. Make sure everyone, this goes out to everyone, not just the people that's in attendance for this. Make sure you all pitch yourself more. This is for every one of my classes. Make sure you pitch yourself more. Remember, what can you do for them? Why should they select you? What do you give them that someone else can't? Look at it as that way. Pitch yourself more. How are you going to stand out? Choose a bigger star moment. Be memorable. All right. So this was our last class. Let's finish out strong. You guys are doing great. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to contact me before I let you guys go. Any other questions or concerns so far? Please ask.
Both assignments are due Sunday, right?
Yes, both assignments are due Sunday at 11:59.
Cool.
Time. Yeah, the due dates and the instructions is also in that particular week. Both assignments are due Sunday. All right. Any other questions or concerns? All right. You guys have a good day. Go be creative, and let's get to do the job on your 4.4. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you,
Everybody
sir.
else.
All right. You guys have a good day.
You too.
Thank
Thank you. You as well.
You as well, sir. Thank you.
you. Thank you.